Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to episode 2 of the Journey Sessions podcast. You've probably noticed by now that I'm only dropping episodes every other week, and I love that I've given myself permission to do this. I want you to want it. I want you to be waiting for that next episode to drop on Sundays, and I don't want to be backlogged in your library. I also create a lot of content for my programs, and I personally don't like burnout. So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be sharing this week's theme and journey with you. Teachings, reminders, all around your desire and being selfish. I hear this a lot. I think especially from women, it's because it's part of what's programmed into us that we have to sacrifice, we have to be self-sacrificing, that specifically our families, our children, our husbands or partners need us, that if we're an employee or an employer or in business, that those people that we're working for or leading or working with need us, that everything else comes first before our own needs. And it's such a tricky shift to change out of that collective mindset, but it's, I would say, one of the most powerful shifts you can make. And so I'm here today to do my part in helping you make that shift. Because as you're going to be receiving my words and moving through this and on the journey today, what you're going to be remembering once we look at all the different layers that are stacked up here, is that when you are aligned to your true desires and you are living more fully from this place, everyone wins. That's our superpower. That's the power of desire. True desire is that it creates a cascade of energy that is this permissive, beautiful green light, higher frequency energy that moves through anyone who is truly living this way and slips into, it's part of the collective. So it enters into the subconscious, everyone around you. And then it's up to them, right, to hear that knock on the door, to hear those whispers of their own heart, of their own soul, of their own true desires, because there's examples around them of other people who are doing the same thing. That right there alone is the impact of you living your true desires. Like, just that you're giving more people permission to do the same. Like that, and that's just enough. But it's so much more than that too. It's so much more than that too. And so we're gonna kind of just explore this today. The first thing I want to do is talk about the difference between true desires and false desires, because I think there's probably some confusion around this. And in fact, when we are succumbing to false desires, that's actually selfish. That's actually when we are being selfish. If we're responding to the brain's mechanism for desire and the neurochemical release of dopamine that supports that pattern and that habit. So like food, alcohol, drugs, screens, sex, like anything that's used in like excessive ways, which we're wired to be excessive in all those ways. Those aren't like, you might think your brain might tell you like, oh no, this is what I want. It's like this automatic desire, like reach for the glass of wine after work, reach for the cookie, reach for, the porn, reach for the remote control, get on Netflix, like jump on the couch. And I'm not saying those things are bad and just as they are. But when we don't practice conscious choice, when we don't give ourselves the opportunity to decide, is this serving me right now? If I wasn't reaching for this, what do I truly want? What am I trying to fulfill? What's the hunger, the yearning, the real desire that I'm trying to fulfill by reaching for this, like, instant gratification desire? So when we're overriding our own inner authority and wisdom and truth of our own desire, and we're reaching for something that gives us this instant desire, that is selfish because we're not fulfilling our own purpose, which then, like I explained earlier, gets to be this example of other people to do the same. So we're actually, I think, shrinking back from how we get to show up as humans in the collective and support and energize the collective frequency that we're all really wanting to move into. So yeah, when you're succumbing to false desires, it probably is a little selfish. I mean, I'm just thinking back to my own, when I lived in that way. I can honestly say I don't anymore. Truly. I take that back. My edge right now, like the desire that I'm getting instant gratification from, that is like, I know it's a problem, is aimlessly scrolling on my phone. And I don't get caught up in it for very long. I mean, I'm talking like a few minutes at a time, like probably 10 times during the afternoon and evenings when I'm home with my children. So, that's an hour of me aimlessly scrolling that's trickled throughout the afternoon and evening. And it interrupts my connection to them. It interrupts my connection to myself. It interrupts my ability to really sink into my desire to want to connect and be present for them in a deeper way. So just to be real, that is definitely my edge. But I started drinking when I was 12 years old. I don't drink alcohol. I started using drugs when I was 12 and very much in my 20s, I used a lot of hard substances. Haven't done that in a long time. I used TV when I was young to just check out. I was depressed. I was neglected. I do not use the screen. I rarely watch anything. I used to use food, as a way to escape and buffer. I don't do that anymore. Although when I do eat my meals that are planned and it's because I'm hungry and I sit down, I do still, like, it's hard for me to stay fully present while I'm eating. So that's also something I'm working on, but I don't use food to check out. I just notice that I do check out while I'm eating my planned healthy meal. So as you can see, as I'm using myself as the example here, there's lots of layers here to notice how we are keeping ourselves from being fully tapped into our true desires, which are going to stay hidden from us the more we succumb to false desire. And then there's this, this silly little lie that, well, if I actually took the time and noticed what I truly desire, and I actually invested my energy in fulfilling that desire, then that would take away from everyone else. And it's like, no, you're actually already taken away from everyone else by numbing out. When you break through that and tap into your true desire and you fully go all in on you in this creative aliveness, this passion and pleasure, this truth of your soul, it's the least selfish thing you can do because it's always, always, always serving the collective. And I think we're all operating at different layers of this. And so I teach desire work. It is a large part of the work I do personally in my own life is is staying on the edge of myself as far as, no, what do I want? No, what do I really want? Is the thing that I'm living, that I have, that I want, still what I really want? If I was allowed to have more, if I was allowed to want more, what would I want? Like, I stay in that line of questioning with myself. And if I can detect where I'm getting numb, checking out, just kind of like going through the motions of my life, like waking up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, eating the same foods, like the same patterns. That's what I'm like, oh, I feel like I've hit mediocrity always in a life that I've chosen and I love. But again, it's like, no, what else is here? What is calling to me? What is calling me in? So I do this work. I embody it and I teach it. And, it's very intriguing. People love it. And the number one response I get from individuals when I introduce them to this work and guide them to this work is, but I feel like I'm being selfish if I truly tap in and live my desires. And so that's why I'm bringing this here to you today. So I'm going to break down the places that one of the three places that you may find your edge in as far as desire work. The first is I'm calling just being replenished. And that's like if you're shifting from a place where you're fully have given yourself in service to the people in your life and you don't even know what it's like to put yourself first. You might be stepping into this place or existing in this place. Maybe you've given yourself permission to do some things for yourself that I'm calling being replenished. So this is like you give yourself permission to take a nap or get a massage or to take a day or a weekend away by yourself or with your friends or maybe with your partner, but like leave the kids behind. Or that you don't work on the weekend if you have a business, like you take the weekend off. Maybe you'll go out for dinner with friends and, so this is like these replenishments that you are either edging into giving yourself permission to have, or you're in a place where you've consistently just like, okay, this is what I do. I replenish myself. I've collected the evidence that it's not bad because I notice how when I'm replenished, I have more energy for all the other things. I'm more present for all the other demands and the people who I want to be in service for, right? The next layer I'm calling having purpose. And this is where you have a creative endeavor or a business or a passion that you're fulfilling, something that's intangible, that's just, it's a pull and it's moving through you that you just can't not do, right? So you invest your time and your energy into this purpose, and either you are on the edge of like stepping into this and learning how to take even more time to invest in this way and up against this idea like, oh my gosh, if I do this, am I being selfish? Or you're already in practice of this and you have the evidence of like, oh no, when I'm in this place, and that doesn't mean it isn't edgy. That doesn't mean it isn't hard. I'm talking to all the adults who are balancing their passions with the other responsibilities they have that might be like parenting or caring for an aging parent or, maybe a creative endeavor and a passion project, and you also still work full time and you have a family, like, right? So I'm not discounting that this isn't edgy, but when you're in and living from that purpose, it doesn't fucking matter. That's the last thing you're actually going to give up, right? So that you're like, oh no, I have to do this. There's something pulling me. There's a drive that I have. And so I just have to do this. This is like my life force energy. It feeds everything else, right? So this. The third layer of this, the third and final, and these are just ones that I made up 5 minutes ago, is living your desires. Whew, and this is where you are in belief, you're in full belief, and you're acting as if everything that is aligned to your heart and soul is happening. So like you aren't compartmentalizing. You're not saying, well, at least I am living my purpose, or at least I'm getting my massage once a week, or at least I have like that weekend getaway planned with my girlfriends. I can manage everything else. No, it's like everything in my life is fucking epic. Everything is in sync and attuned to my desired state. I allow for more abundance. I'm open to experiencing more magic and flow and miracles in my life. I am living my desires. When you're in this place, you know in an embodied way that you living your desires is the highest act of service that you can do, that you can bring, that you can be the example of, that you can show up from. It's the highest. You're being rewarded by the universe because you trust and you've surrendered to the universe and allowed it to bring you into universal flow and receive everything you want. And there's an exchange for this. There's always an exchange for this because you've already anchored into your purpose. You already understand that there's a bigger pull. You've already given yourself permission to receive replenishment and nourishment and what I call sacred rest. Right? So just notice how these can build on each other. And I'm just curious right now as you check in with yourself, you're like, where am I? Which one am I in? And which one do I feel comfortable in? And which ones have I been feeling a pull to move into? For some of you, you might be on the edge of like leaping into living your desires. But right now you're just looking around your life and you're like, but I don't even see how I can shift out of this and into that. And for a lot of us, it is a paradigm shift. For me, it was. It took some pretty hairy decisions that I had to make because my life that I was living previously didn't support this level of change, this level of faith, this level of receiving. And so I want to talk about that real quick right here is if you're finding that you are all in on making a shift, either into or beyond just being replenished, into or beyond having purpose, and then into the limitlessness of living your desires. If you find that you're like a yes, but there's parts of your life that are a no, you have to decide if those parts of your life come along with you, right? So for example, if you know deep in your heart and soul that you stepping into one of these layers is truly the most generous thing you can do for everyone around you, but you have a partner or a boss or a client who's saying, no, you can't do that. That would be selfish. I don't want you to do that. That isn't about you. That's about them. And you have to understand what they're making it mean about themselves and then about you and about the relationship, right? Because when you're told you're being selfish, when you're responding to the desires of your heart and soul, that's about the person who's making the claim that you're being selfish. It's not about you, right? And so this is where you get to bring in relationship practices and just skill sets where you can decide if these containers can shift to accommodate your growth, your personal and spiritual growth, because that's essentially what this is, right? And I'm not going to go into that here. There's plenty of beautiful resources. I'll actually put a couple resources in the show notes specifically for people that I follow on Instagram who really help support me in my understanding of relational health and personal sovereignty within a relationship. So I'll drop those in the show notes for you to check out. So this is, for many of us, which it was for me, it required a paradigm shift, which I'm going to just quickly define here as an undoing of one way of being and living and completely restructuring and creating a new way of being and living. That's a paradigm shift. It can happen really easily when you allow yourself to no longer be attached to your current reality and let what you desire energetically be what you step into. So that right there is what I want to share around desire, and give you kind of the space to consider if you've been telling yourself, or if you've been hearing, or if you're like woven into your subconscious is this belief, this story, this idea that it's selfish for you to pursue these desires and to continuously move through these levels. Like right here, I want you to just notice like what's being challenged right here and what's opening up for you right here. Because we're going to move into the journey portion of this podcast episode. So, if you're not in a place where you can fully settle in and receive the journey here, then I want you to pause it and come back when you can. So please don't do this while you're driving. Don't do this while you're, cleaning the house, playing with your kids, working on something else. Like just save it for later. And when you're ready, pop me back into your earbuds, grab the integration questions to take it deeper. And I'm just holding such incredible, beautiful space for you to really be able to shift out of this so that you can step into the layer and the level and the desired state that you're ready for. Okay, my beautiful friend. So allowing yourself to really settle and sink in here into your body, into your seat, your bed, the floor, wherever you're at, and just starting to find your own natural rhythm of breathing that is long and deep and full. And finding a rhythm that allows you to draw in beautiful, nourishing oxygen into your body, allowing it to fully come into your belly and expand here. And then on your exhale, allowing it to move through in the same rhythm and leave a little bit of space at the end of that exhale before you draw in another breath. So finding the longest, most nourishing rhythm for you right here. We're just going to be here for a little bit as you settle into breath, settle into your body, and bringing your awareness in on your breath. So as you start to find that long, nourishing rhythm, bring your awareness. So using your mind's eye, just follow that breath in right into your body on that breath and right back out on that breath. And just notice the space of you from the inside out as you're bringing clarity and freshness and new energy in with every breath and allowing it to move all throughout your body. And even though you feel your breath just coming in and maybe filling up in your belly and in your chest and perhaps in your throat, even though you feel it there, allow your awareness to draw it more completely through your body. So letting this rhythm ride and expand into your pelvis, into your legs and calves and feet, into your shoulders and arms, down out the palms of your hands, fully up your neck into your head and expanding out the top of your head. These breaths are nourishing you, all of you, every cell of your body, fully. Beautiful. On your next inhalation, I want you to bring your awareness to your heart space and continue to breathe in and out, but keep your awareness here at your heart space. And when I say desire and tapping into desire right here, allowing your body in your heart space to open up and just show you what the energy of desire looks like today. Perhaps you see a color or a shape. Perhaps there's an image. Just allowing your awareness to deepen in right here, right into your heart, right into desire. Just staying curious and compassionate here with yourself and with desire and with your beautiful body. And asking, if I could live into my desires even more, what would this look like? And just allowing whatever images, whatever knowing, whatever truth is coming to you now just to come. And asking your body and this desire to show me more. Show me more. What else? If it was safe, if I knew that everyone would benefit from me living more fully into my desires, show me what else would I be experiencing? And just allowing these images, allowing this knowing, allowing this truth with your breath as it's expanding into your body to expand all of this. And just stepping into it, stepping in to what you'd be experiencing, what you'd be doing, how you would be feeling, and noticing what the quality of energy is in this space. Beautiful. Continuing to sink in here. These are my desires. I am being shown right now what is in me, what desires are wanting to be lived through me, what is possible for me. And anchoring in right here to how this feels and breathing into your body, aligning and attuning to this frequency of desire that's showing up right here, and just allowing this to be part of your felt experience. Beautiful. And now you're going to invite in, allow your subconscious mind to bring in the one or two or three people in your life or the circumstances in your life that perhaps on a subconscious level you think would believe that you living more in your desires would be selfish. Allowing this to show up now and staying here, staying in your body, staying in this desired frequency. You get to right here practice embodying this frequency of your desired state, even when you're met with potential possible subconscious beliefs around you being in this state is selfish. So right here, it's a practice of you maintaining this and owning it, claiming it, holding it. You get to have it right here, right here. You are safe. We're just going to stay extremely curious and compassionate with all of this. So noticing right now as you receive the information around why is this selfish for you to be living more fully into your desires? What is the belief? What are the thoughts? What are the judgments here around why this is selfish? Receiving these now. Beautiful. So let's take one. What's the one that stands out the most? What's the one that's ready to be shifted and transformed? What's the one that's showing up right here that wants to be explored deeper? What's the thought? What's the belief? What's the judgment? Allowing this to come through clearly. Beautiful. So then asking, what is the fear beneath this belief? What is this individual or this circumstance actually afraid will happen if you fulfill this? I'm receiving this now. Beautiful. And then asking, what's the invitation here for this individual? What's the opportunity for this circumstance to shift out of this fear-based, contracted space and into something that fully serves them or serves the evolution of this circumstance? What is the invitation? What gets to happen? What gets to shift for them? And just receiving this and noticing what's moving here, staying in your desired frequency. Beautiful. And then asking, what is this like for them? If this shift and this move out of the judgment, the belief, into the fear that is lying underneath it, through the fear and into what actually gets to happen, if it could be easy, if it could be seamless, if it was inevitable that this change could occur, knowing that this is exactly what's supposed to happen, what is that like for them? What is it like for this individual? What is it like for this circumstance to change and shift in this way? Beautiful. Noticing here the other opportunities that come through because of this. Noticing what else gets to happen when this shift is made. Allowing the scene to open up so you can get a peek beyond this. Just notice what else gets to happen. And not just for you, but for them. Beautiful. So noticing here, friend, how your decision to step into something that is truly aligned to your desires has an impact greater than you could ever imagine. And that when you allow yourself to move through the belief, the idea, the judgment of selfish, that you get to actually see what that impact is. And you can hold this as well in your desired frequency. So in allowing yourself right here with all this information before you, to allow your desired frequency, to allow your next level desired state to also incorporate this right here, the impact that it gets to have on everything around you. Taking a deep, beautiful breath into your body. You can even put a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly, allowing breath to move in as you anchor in this truth that you living your desires is a gift to everyone around you. That you stepping into your desired state and claiming them gives other people permission to do the same. That you are a powerful force of love and compassion and impact in the world. Beautiful. Allowing this to fully move through you, feeling it all throughout your body. taking a moment here to thank all this beautiful information that came through. Thanking these circumstances and these individuals that showed up today to share. Thanking what came through your heart, the desires that came through today, thanking those for showing up. And thanking your body and yourself for showing up here. Taking in another deep, beautiful breath into your body. Allowing your awareness to come back through the scene, back into your heart space, using breath, moving back through your body, exploring and coming back, drawing back, bringing your awareness up, noticing your entire body here in this space, this time and place that you're in right now. Taking another deep breath. Here you are, coming back, stretching your arms and legs, wiggling your fingers and toes. And opening your eyes to a soft gaze. Welcome back, beautiful soul. It was such a pleasure to offer you this here today, my friend. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. As always, I look forward to talking to you next time. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you're wanting to take this deeper, I encourage you to download the journal prompts for this episode. You can find a link in the show notes, or you can visit saratrapkis.com/journey sessions podcast. And if you're on the gram, please follow me at Sarah Trapkis and say hi. I would love